just that. There we go. And we are live. Hello all of yous. I hope you've all been doing well. And happy spooky month.
It is Halloween month, isn't it?
Yes.
Like the October, yes. Also, hello. I still exist.
Yup. So, how about that for timing for my internet? I literally thought my internet was going to be out for 24 hours, but luckily they got it on early this morning. So I just kind of was like, I'll see how it goes. And yeah, hello Nathan Smith, good to see you, bud. How you doing? We're doing pretty good. I just got my internet running again. Someone forgot to pay the bills. Luckily, our internet company was like, oh, okay, we'll just pay up and we'll get the internet running again. They did just that, so...
Yeah.
Yep.
Internet bills, they kind of...
They can suck, but at least the ones over here aren't too bad when it comes to... Wi-Fi is almost just your standard home internet, is cheaper than mobile data. The mobile data, oh boy, I'll chew through like a few gigs of that if I want to do stuff. I mean, you're doing great. Well, that's good to hear, Nathan.
Mobile data just for emergencies, really. I only use it in cases like I don't have any Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I tend to not buy any unless I need it.
Yeah. For me, it's included in my account. But
oh, that's like good.
A monthly amount of 4G.
Well, I don't exactly run the internet. Almost, I don't pay the bills for the internet here, so I don't get any kinds of deals like that. And I think it's different provider for the internet that I'm using for my mobile data versus the one for our home. But on a good note, I am getting some. I'm almost got enough to buy something really, really cool. And I finally. Have you ever seen those smart glasses that have a little wee tiny screen mounted in them?
Smart glasses with a little tiny screen mounted in them. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Kind of like a little heads-up display is the best way to describe it. Yes, it is. Spooky month. I hope you all are having a great time with it. Yeah. Well. Well,
that was me doing some really...
we've got a couple worlds we'll go into in a bit that are Halloween themed. I've got a couple things as well as some games and stuff. Oh yeah, so these little glasses that I got, or I'm gonna get at some point once I've got the money, because these things aren't cheap. Even the modules, the hardware, costs around $500 to $600.
600. Oh, that's
quite a
not
bit.
That bad?
No, it's not.
But I've heard worse.
Put it this way: a set of AR glasses or augmented reality glasses cost over about $2,000 to $1,000 new.
Oh,
yes,
God.
and that's a tiny little screen, no bigger than a quarter, inside of a set of glasses. And I was looking at it going, it's not worth that much, in my opinion. If it was something around about maybe 600, maybe, depending on how it works. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to buy a module and 3D print some cases and parts and make one. And then I'm going to hook it up to a small computer on a belt loop. I've seen someone else actually do this, by the way. I've actually seen another YouTuber who uses one of these as a prompter, a teleprompter unit. Spooky month is my friends. Yes, it is the spooky month. Yes. Oh, yeah. So, what I'm going to end up doing is, because it actually... I was going to look at using a different unit that would have costed me a bit more. and may not have had the bestest size and resolution. The best way I can describe how these work, you ever seen those little pyramids? Those little like reflector pyramids inside of inside of binoculars? A little piece of glass that can refract light.
The prism?
Yes, prism. That's the one.
Yeah, the prism, they scatter the light so that you get like this kaleidoscopic, is that what you mean?
Yeah, if you hold them in the right angle, you can actually see an image through them of what's on the other side. Kind of like a mirror does. But you can still see through it. That's how they work. They work in a similar way to that. Oh, hello, ball of flute.
See-through mirror, two-way mirror kind of deal?
Kind of.
Or like...
I'll have to get you some pictures of how they work. It's really, on a simpleton's level, I won't go too far into depth, but think of having a piece of acrylic or clear material, and then, so you got a square like this. Actually, is there any pens in this one? I believe there is. Yes, there is. There we go. So you got the square of material that's clear, like a piece of acrylic plastic. And how it works is you've got you're looking in through it over this way. And there's a surface that angles like this. So it's almost like two separate pieces. And what happens is, because there's a actual little wee tiny display no bigger than a coin down here, it will then send the image from that up to your eye out here. So this piece of material is see-through, but yet if something lights up from over here, you can be able to see it. And it looks like it's right in front of your eyes as a little wee tiny screen. This is how augmented reality glasses work. It's very, the little wee tiny screens are so high in resolution that some of them have the same amount of LEDs as either my VR headset or some video displays. And put it that way, that's how small and high resolution they have to be in order to work. Partly why they cost so much. They have to make
augmented reality sounds pretty cool.
Yes, it's very useful for
I
things.
hope that at some point what would be really cool is like have augmented reality maybe, and then have like avatars. Maybe.
Kind of possible.
Like vrchat, except you would meet in some real places.
Technically,
just at your, I don't know.
Yeah. It's technically doable.
You can talk to each other that way.
You would need something, though, the equivalent more of what a mixed reality headset does. So it has both cameras. You'd probably need some kind of degree of eye and face tracking if you really want to go crazy with it. But technically, some of the Facebook headsets technically can do that. Technically. Can do mixed reality stuff. I don't normally do mixed reality stuff that often, so this is going to be one of those kinds of projects where I will end up getting into it at a later time. What did you miss? Oh, I was just talking a bit about augmented reality stuff. But, what was it? We just might end up going to a different world in a second. It's a more Halloween-themed one. But let's take a look around here first, because I haven't actually seen this.
Right.
Every year around the holidays, vrchat will make a theme thing for VR, and one of the themes is,
this
Halloween.
Homeworld looks so different from like when it was first made. It looks better.
Oh.
Completely changed it.
Yeah, they've done quite a bit of work with making vrchat quite quite impressively well done with some of the things they do. One of my friends actually made a VR world. It's a bit of an older one, but it is of course Halloween themed, and I thought we'll go and take a look at that. I had it in my recentest, so let's see here. Here we go.
I might get a VR headset soon.
Awesome. What one?
Quest 3, probably.
I was actually looking at some of the other ones out on the internet. I might look at some other things too that are completely DIY. Yeah, I might do that route at some point too. New instance. Let's drop a portal right here and go take a look at this one. One of my friends by the name Online made this world we are currently just about to drop on into. It's a basic, but I think quite charming little Halloween themed world this is. Just wait for Renard to drop on in. But I think it looks pretty cool. It is. Honestly, if you end up seeing this fluff, go and check out his worlds on vrchat. I think they're pretty cool. Some of them are PC only, like this one, but I do think they do look good. Yeah. He updated this one too recently, as of this year. So, yay! It's pretty good. Boink, 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 boink.
Ow, my lip. Ow.
You bit your lip?
Yep.
Ouch. That hurts.
Ugh. Ugh, I taste it. Ugh.
Ow.
Okay, let's not dive into that too much.
Yeah. Alright, I'll check it out. Oh, cool, thanks. He's one of the more... He's a little bit more elusive on vrchat. He doesn't always... Occasionally I'll drop in on him, but he's very quiet. Yeah. But he does a lot of good stuff, and I think he deserves a lot of, a good amount of credit for his work. And, yeah, I think they're quite nice. They've got a nice, simple charm to them. Yeah, like over here, this is a nice little area over here. All the skeletons. That one kind of, I think it had too much to drink. I don't know how that's possible for a skeleton, but, yeah.
I mean, it just goes right through.
Yeah. You know. I know liquor goes right through some people, but I don't mean it that much. I don't mean it that literally.
Yeah, I mean, there's free candy. What the? A skeleton saying free candy. Oh my god, this.
Candy.
Yeah.
Yep. Eee. Ooh.
I would definitely trust my... Ooh.
Neat. I don't think it does
Ora finita. Ora finita expelliarmus. Avada Kedavra.
Wow.
Crucio. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so honestly, it's a quite nice little world and all that. Boop to you guys. Aw, thank you. Nathan. Yeah. Wow. It's one of the more interesting ones, but it's a nice little quaint, quiet little world that someone created. But yeah, honestly, as of Halloween, we don't really celebrate that much over here. And the part of town we're in it's on the outskirts, so not many people would be trick-or-treating that much. I don't have any candy either, sadly. I don't eat a lot of candy.
I sometimes eat candy, but not often. I try to be a bit healthier nowadays.
I had, put it this way, I can tell you how much candy I've eaten as of recently. One. It was one little, what do they call those? Just like a little hard candy. They're not particularly the most tastiest, but they're okay.
I do sometimes like my Snickers bars, though.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm that one person who does not mind eating things like candy corn if I get some of it, but depends on how often. Like, candy corn's one of those, what people would call, what is it, kind of controversial. It's either you either really like it or you hate it, kind of candies.
What kind of candy?
Candy corn.
How does it taste? Candy corn.
It's not got a lot of flavour.
I don't know.
You can get it occasionally. It's not particularly the most tastiest, nor the most. But it's kind of just like a little... It's hard to describe, really. It's one of those things, either you'll eat it and you'll like it, or you eat it and you're just like, nah, not my cup of tea kind of thing. Oh, you love candy corn balls.
I have it over here, even.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes it appears over here. It's not common. I like eating candies that aren't that common over here. So normally we get things like Cadbury bars and, that sort of candy. But stuff like American or European stuff is a little bit more mixed. It isn't as common, but sometimes you might see it. Like, you might see a Mounds bar or a coconut bounty or some other kind of chocolate candy with coconut.
Wasn't the Mounds bar also coconut?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is that different from the bounties, or?
I think they're slightly, but not much. I remembered always this one person who would always occasionally buy a Mounds bar. I was just like, Jesus Christ, those things are like, they're not bad, but they're like, I wouldn't be eating them as commonly as that person did. Oh, I found out, because I do like a listing off a bit of science stuff. Someone, if I go here, was cured in using through science. They cured through stem cell therapy, successfully treated type 1 diabetes. That's impressive.
Okay.
I hope there's more studies done into that sort of stuff.
Type 1 diabetes is like that's the one that you're born with, like the chronic one.
Can't remember which one, sadly, but I do know that some people
type 1 diabetes was the... Yeah, that was the one that was kind of this autoimmune disease that you were kind of born with. There's the two kinds of diabetes: one that you get from birth, and one you get later in life through terrible habits.
Yeah, partly why I don't eat as much sugar and stuff like that.
Yeah. Here. Yeah.
But I do occasionally splurge myself on a couple occasions, but I tend to do it far between each other.
You should be able to, you should be able to do that. It's not too bad. I also sometimes indulge.
Yeah.
As long as you don't,
if you can have at least a few weeks between indulging yourself and not, then yeah. And you get some kind of healthy food in between to help clear your system. I put it this way, most days I'm eating either one of two different things. Some kind of fruit, like a citrus, like mandarins, oranges, lemons. That's all good kind of stuff to get into your body, especially for all the citruses. But I definitely do love... Did you get my message? Can you guys give me boops and hugs? Oh, actually, yes. Technically I can. I just got to do this one little thing with the camera. World anchor. There we go. I can just walk up to the camera like this and just go boop, boop, boop. There we go. Just like that. And then I just set it back to local so that I can still move around. Cool. But yeah, honestly, I do love going, we don't do trick-or-treating around here as much. We more or less just, maybe at most just do a few, at most watch, spooky movies or some other funny Halloween trope like Monster House or something like that.
We also don't do trick-or-treating. We have our own kind of tradition. We don't really even do Halloween per se, like as a traditional holiday. What we have is in the month of November, we have November 11th, St. Martin's Day, where the kids go around and they go around the doors to get candy, except with that, not the Halloween kind, but they just sing a song to you.
Kind of like a Christmas carol, but Halloween.
Well, it's not Halloween. It's Saint Martin and the songs about Saint Martin. Kids songs, and then the guy or the person that opens the door's like, "Oh yeah, great, well sung. Here's some candy."
Some candy and treats. That's interesting. That is interesting. It's definitely different, but interesting. There you go. It sounds like
Halloween
Christmas
is a thing,
almost.
but it's mostly for most
door-to-door Christmas carols, which are a thing in some parts of the US and Britain. It's not as common to see it, but
I guess we have. For us it's St. Martin's Day, and we have we do have Halloween, but it's mostly for adults, and they just have parties.
Yeah.
The Halloween themed parties. We do that, but we don't. It's not a traditional holiday over here.
Yeah, it's not common.
It's more pop culture, but not
there you
traditional.
go. Yeah, it's more for the fun of it, if anything. It's not such a traditional thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here's a fun thing. You know what Halloween was originally started for? To keep kids out of trouble. It originally, if you go back and look at the history of
mythology, I don't remember actually what it was.
I remember it.
Wasn't it All Hallows Eve?
Something like that. It's weird. The history of Halloween itself is quite a odd one. I do remember a YouTuber who does. Oh, it was Tasting History. That's right. Tasting History was talking about it at one point or another. About Halloween and the candies and all the stuff that were done to keep kids out of mischief, because at the time they would do at the exact time that Halloween was going on, they would get into a mischief by stealing people's fruits and vegetables from their gardens and cause absolute mayhem. Yeah.
What I'm reading here is so Pope Gregory III established November the 1st as All Saints' Day, also known as All Hallows' Day, a day to honor all saints of the church that have attained heaven, and the evening before All Saints' Day became a holy or hallowed eve, and thus All Hallows' Eve or Halloween, which is marked by demonic stuff, dark, evil. So you get all, and then the saint... Like the saint-like stuff happens after.
Okay.
I guess.
There you go.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a fair assessment. That's what I'm kind of reading here from Britannica.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of interesting looking at the different histories of it all. Fun fact: when
that it was called All Hallows Eve.
Jack-lanterns. I've heard of the jack-o'-lanterns. It was an interesting one about that. What was it that I was looking into a few years back? There's like a story about like how jack-o'-lanterns became a thing as well. It was kind of interesting if you ever look into it. It's a mythos more than an actual story.
I'm not familiar with it though.
Essentially based on a few different things, but essentially someone whose spirit or hell, it's something to do with that, but someone carved out a gourd or a pumpkin and used it as a lantern to forever wander the dark or something like that. Something around that. I can't quite remember.
I've not heard of that.
I'd have to look into it again. It was some sort of story back in the day that Ball of Floof mentioned but then deleted. It's okay though. I've seen quite a few interesting stories around around stuff like that. It's kind of interesting though. Halloween mythoses and stories around it. Let me see here. What are the VR chat worlds that have a kind of this time of year spooky theme to them? Let me see. I don't keep a lot, but I know where I can get one. I've got one that I can easily bring up by simply going to the right place. There we go. There we go. Halloween. This world probably hasn't been updated in a while, but it still works. I'll drop a portal. There we go.
Alright.
This world's a Halloween themed world. But yeah, we'll go here and check it out. Might as well do the rounds of the various worlds that are Halloween themed. Having a fairly, I'd say, before jack-o'-lanterns were carved into pumpkins, they first carved into turnips instead. Okay, that is kind of cool. Okay, now that Renard's here, I'll read that out again. Fun fact, before jack-o'-lanterns were carved out of pumpkins, they were first carved out of turnips instead. Turnips. Are they the ones that are like the big carrots? The big white carrots? Huh. Either way, it's interesting.
Oh, that reminds me of an episode of... Oh, what the hell? I did not expect this thing.
Oh yeah, the Best Boy zombie.
Oh no, oh no.
Yeah, you click it, you actually get the
Oh, now I am infected.
Blah. There you go. Oh yeah, the whole underground area here is also got a bit of... Yeah, there's the candy corn. That's candy corn. There she is dropping candy corn. Look. Candy corn.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, it's actually just a picture of candy corn in there.
Yep.
It's just a picture of it.
Yep.
That's how they used to do that in VR. This is a pretty old world, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's an older world. It's old enough that this was still commonly popular among us. Shall I say anything more?
Also, these avatars. Oh god.
Oh yeah, the avatars on the wall. Yeah.
Those
Best
avatars.
Boys.
Mostly
I actually got one.
Still.
I swear there's more furries on here than there is anime at some point or another. Oh god dang it.
Yeah, nowadays there are.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there are still anime communities.
Yeah, there is. There's probably a few. I know there's a couple because I see a couple worlds that... put it this way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't feel ashamed because it's ancient. There used to be this show that was broadcast on TV over here in New Zealand for a long while called Zoids. It technically was a sort of anime.
Okay.
It's odd to say the least, but there is some remnants of it that's been uploaded to YouTube. But yeah, you might be able to find it if you're looking hard enough. You might find some of it. I don't know much more than that because I haven't looked back into it since I was a kid. Yeah, there is a graveyard over here. They changed this world around from a few of the other ones. They've got a Christmas themed one and a Halloween themed one, and then they've just got a standard one. This is the Halloween themed one.
By the way, hey, want a brain? Here you go, have a brain.
Oh, look at that! Behind me. We've got a shuffler. He wants his brain.
So instead of chasing a cookie, it now chases a brain.
Yep. There's also these plastic pitchforks. Blah. Plonk. Yeah. I think this here is a mirror. Yeah. You point it out this hand sticking out of the ground, the skeleton hand, you got a mirror. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. What was some of the things we used to do? We didn't really do much Halloween themed stuff because Halloween wasn't common over here. But we did do and this is back when things like Blockbuster and all that still existed. Yes. That dates my age now, doesn't it? I'm old.
Mm-hmm.
I was around when movie rentals were still a thing instead of movie streaming sites. We used to go get a couple like spooky movies for the family kind of thing, and you'd buy candy, bowl of popcorn and all that. And yeah. It was one of those kinds of things. That's mainly what we did when we were young.
Tasty brain.
Tasty brain. But yeah, that's mainly what we did as a kid. For Christmas we yeah. And then we got all kinds of other stuff we did.
Pet.
Plonk. But yeah, we didn't really have much of a trick-or-treating back in the day. Put it this way, the only time we actually ever put out candy, surprisingly we actually did have a few kids that were out trick-or-treating. I had a bunch of candy canes still left over. They were still alright. Like, I actually ate one and they were fine.
Candy canes, they stay well for like years. I think
yeah, hard candies, if they're kept in a cool, dry environment, I just believe they'll just last. They're kind of one of those kinds of candies that just, as long as you treat them right, they'll last. I put them out. They
can get soft and
yeah. No, they were hard as a rock. I put them out in a colander hung from the fence and just left them there overnight, and a few kids were going by and grabbing a couple and chucking them into their bags, and off they went. It's like, that's the only time I ever saw trick-or-treaters in New Zealand. I'm glad at least once I was able to at least somewhat give kids or some people a sense of Halloween spirit. Yeah. But yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah. One of the cool things I am gonna be. Oh, that's right. So one of the other things because I'll be going up to a FurCon next month, I've got a whole bunch of things I'll be doing up there. One of the things I'll be doing an interview with another furry musician. Yes. How many I've done now? You. I've done an interview with.
Yeah.
I've done interviews with at least
ages ago.
Yeah, I've done interviews with a few people now in terms of furries both on vrchat and IRL. Yes. One of the other people that I did an interview with was. Oh yeah, that's right, Sotolo. That's who I did an interview with on here, vrchat. Really amazing world creator. And then I did an interview with who else did I do an interview with? A very talented electrical engineer by the name Tower of the Sun. A very older individual. Like, put it this way, he sounds a bit like David Attenborough, if I'm pronouncing that right. National Geographic, David Attenborough.
No idea.
He normally does like commentary on like Animal Planet and other like content related to natural history.
Oh, like also the one with the Arctic, the Frozen Planet, or
I believe so. Yeah, that guy. Very old, British sounding dude. He sounds a bit like that. It's the best way to describe Tower of the Sun. He sounds a bit like that. Very wise old guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's really nice. He's probably the most sweetest person I've met on here when it comes to very old furs. You get some old furs that just sound a bit grumpy and I don't know. I guess they just stick to their own little virtual backyard is the best way to say it. But for the most part, I've met quite a few nice furs who done some pretty impressive things on here. But yeah, Milkshake Skunkette, that's a very interesting story. They do quite a bit of stuff, and I haven't talked to them that much lately. They've been just kind of doing their own thing, I think, or busy with things in life. You're playing Xbox. Oh, okay, cool, Nathan.
Life does happens.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Life does happen.
Yeah. Life. It finds a way. Yeah. But yeah,
Is Xbox still any good? Because I've not heard much about Xbox.
If you've got a decent computer, if you've got a decent enough computer, you probably don't need to get an Xbox. You only get one if you really need one. But
I mean, nowadays, I still have the old consoles like PS2. I love.
Oh yeah, fair enough with retro stuff, in my opinion.
And,
if you're getting a console, get some old retro one that's still in good condition. That, or what I was doing while the internet was out, I was just emulating some of my old games.
I have a retro arch. I can play like the Nintendo 64 stuff.
Yep, there you go. Nice. Yeah, if you've got yourself a controller, then you're good. You can be able to just play most old console games on your computer, even your phone. Like, put it this way, my phone's it's only got 4 gigs of RAM, and it can play like everything all the way up to PSP. Perfectly fine. You just get an Xbox or a PlayStation controller, and you can pair it to your phone, and then you can just emulate your games on that, and it works quite well. I was doing all the way up to PSP with my Fairphone 3.
Oh, yeah.
That thing's able to run those games quite well. It's not a bad phone. Like, it's a bit of a more, I'm going to say, mid-range quality with the overall hardware. It's just okay. It does the job. I'm not looking for a phone that costs over $1,000, because if I'm getting a phone, I'm not getting one because of what it can do. I'm getting one because of how well it lasts. So no back glass, no overly expensive price. The battery can be replaced easily if possible. I'll do all kinds of things to get a decent phone. Heck, I'll even go onto overseas websites that are not being sold by the manufacturer, and then buy them through that. As long as they're the right frequency and signal type, they'll work with New Zealand networks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Most phone carriers over here don't... Go for it.
A funny story. I attended a PhD ceremony today for someone who got their PhD at my university. I heard about it and I wanted to check it out. And it was one of the weirdest ceremonies I've ever been to in my life, man.
Do go on.
Like, they had, like, they had, like, yeah, I could probably send you a picture of the actual room that it was held in. Because it was held in a very ornate room.
Ornate? Ooh.
So let's see, Academie Groningen Aula. If they have the... Yes, this is the room.
Alright, send me a picture.
Yeah.
And I technically would be able to show you guys as well in a second too.
It's a bit small, the picture.
Oh no, I can easily do this. There we go.
This is a bit better resolution.
Oh, you got a better resolution?
It's too big.
Okay.
It's too big.
Oh.
Discord wants money.
Yeah, just a moment.
Yeah.
Save image, and I can now just expand it on my computer. It won't look the best, but it will look good enough for you all. Okay. There we go. Now all I have to do to show you guys that image is go... where is it? Display capture. And then open up image. There you go. That's what it looks like, guys. It's not the most clearest image, but there you go.
Alright.
Yeah,
so that's
and I'll just close it off.
That's the aula. And
there
it literally, like, when I walked in, it was like I thought, like, is this a fucking... It looked like a church.
My old Xbox still works after 5 years of use. That's impressive. Some hardware these days, if you treat it right, will just last. Good example. My my multi-tool that I use, it's like a...
Wasn't finished yet.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, this ceremony was like fucking... there was this guy in this weird dress robes with a staff, and he was like speaking Latin. And we all had to rise, and then the professors and the PhD student, they got up in there, and there was they all had to sit down, and this guy was basically interrogated about his PhD thesis for an hour.
Whoa.
And he had to answer a whole bunch of questions, and it was actually kind of fuck, 'cause like at the end, when this guy was still in the middle of the question, the staff guy came in, the guy with the staff, and he was like, "Ora finita," and that meant like they had to stop, and they were interrupted. Like it was like, what the fuck is this Harry Potter shit? Like,
wow.
He waved his staff, "Ora finita."
It feels like
we had to, yeah. And then they had to leave, and we had to rise again, and they were deliberating whether or not he had his PhD, and he actually had his PhD, so he graduated, and we had a little party afterwards, and it was kind of fun, drinks and food. It was actually quite a nice ceremony.
Cool. Now where was I?
Yeah, the thing you showed us.
Yeah.
Or...
yeah, now where were we? The decent, for most, the older consoles, some of them are pretty sturdy. Like, there's still quite a few people who have got Xboxes and the original PS2s still kicking around out there, and they're still working fine. There's a lot of companies also that make third-party parts for some of these older consoles to keep them running. Both on like places like AliExpress, eBay, and all that, but you might find some more customizingly more crazy mods on like some custom websites and all that, like that sell just custom hardware for consoles. They go crazy. Some people do if they're old retro consoles. Put it that way, it's some people's pride and joy. Yeah. I'd heard stories of someone who had a terabyte hard drive in their original Xbox. They somehow put a 1 terabyte drive in there with all their games and all their saves and everything.
I mean, that was augmented. That was not original. That was
it was a modded.
It's modded hard drive. How would it support that though? Because it'd be hella slow.
Don't know exactly how it was done.
Like if you have an SSD, you manage to get an SSD in there.
Technically
it does have the same parts as a PC, but But like, I wonder if it would be compatible because it's like a lot more simple.
Some consoles, they're very. they're very down to earth, simple in design. Because they're just designed to run some basic games.
Yeah. And also sometimes they're locked, like they're developer locked because they don't want you to fuck around with
they try to miss
source code
system and all that.
They try to block external drives and sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I know Xbox 360 didn't like it when you had a USB drive in there. It would tell you to wipe it before using it.
Yeah.
And it would delete everything on the USB before you could use it.
Yeah. I know that a few people have managed to find some pretty unique mods around with this hardware, but it does depend on the consoles. Some of the old ones you can just PS2, for example, you can plug a memory card into it that's specially designed to make it so it can boot things from a thumb drive. It's weird how it works. It's essentially just a piece of software that doesn't require any modifications to your original hardware. So you can still play games from thumb drive backups. You can back your game up and then save it to the thumb drive or whatever. And then boot that. It's slow with the booting, but it's to be expected when you're running over older USB formats. Anywho's, I've got a couple worlds that are game worlds, but they're not like anything too crazy. Be under recently visited.
Too crazy. Get it.
Good one.
Get it.
There it is. Price guess. I've seen this world just today, and I thought we'll go check it out. It is like a what do they call it? Like a game show, like those ones you sometimes see, like The Price is Right or the all those sorts of games. This is like that. We'll just load in to it. Just a moment. There we go. Now let's wait until Renard gets here. It'll only take a few moments. Essentially, you start the game and it should just be able to play. I don't know if it's playing any copyrighted music.
Yes, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
I suck at this.
Oh, well, let's give it a shot. I'm sure we both will suck at it, so... Yeah. Price guess. Let's see here. Okay. What I'll do is I'll turn off the camera so you can be able to see what I see. No.
How do I do this?
That's not what I'm going to... Of course there's no settings to safe for work stuff. Typical.
Sports.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be that stupid to do that. Oh well. Anyways.
There's no settings?
Nah, not that I can see. Master lock.
Oh, that's just couch colliders.
Yeah, it's just basic stuff. Oh well, never mind. We'll go do something else. Someone didn't think what they were making exactly. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things in vrchat are not exactly meant for YouTube. Perfectly honest.
Oh well. What was it we could do?
Well, at least YouTube after it was bought by Google. Before that, anything.
There is another streaming site that I technically could use, and I wouldn't get into trouble with more certain types of content. And no, it's not Twitch. I won't touch that platform with a 16-foot digital pole. They're just as bad. They're probably just about as bad or as worse. Now,
Twitch does have After Dark streams.
I'm sure, but I just don't like the platform. I have certain standards when it comes to platforms that I like to use, and that one just kind of... It's certain personal preferences that it just kind of does not make me feel trusting of it. Yeah.
For me, I don't mind it that much. I sometimes hang out on there.
Yeah,
but, yeah, it's not... But yeah, I'm not a streamer. I'm not really aspiring to be, so I don't. Really...
Fair enough. Oh well, I found a world. What? Nearly wrong world actually. There it is. New instance. I'll drop a portal. Hopefully it won't happen. Have the same issues that it had last time when I was here. Last time my computer, not my computer, my vrchat client would disconnect me randomly. But that might be a whole bunch of different problems just happening all at once. There we go. We'll stream here for a bit, I think.
Alright. Actually, by the way, in not too long I want to kind of go to bed because I have
oh, it's all good.
Decent early.
Yeah. Why?
A bit of time. A little bit of time left.
So this world you can literally fish in. Literally, you just grab
I don't think will work well on desktop mode though.
You just pull down the trigger and then hit the release. Yeah, like that. And then to reel it in, you just pull the trigger again. And when you get a fish on, you just reel it all the way up. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I have a fish.
I think you can grab the fish off the rod. And then you can just let it go again. That's essentially the name of this game. It's just catch fish. Have fun.
I don't know.
Fish! I got a big fish.
How do I get it?
Let me have a go.
How do I let it go then? Oh.
You gotta grab the actual fish. There we go.
Yeah, I can't grab because I am I can't grab because I'm in desktop mode.
Oh yeah. That's yeah. I hope it would have been a little bit more simplistic when it comes to grab, but Oh, got one. But yeah, I've been playing around with a whole bunch of different worlds and seeing what kind of functions the best out of them all. And for the most part, it depends on who made the world. This person makes, I'm going to say, okay-ish worlds. For the fact that you can be able to do some pretty cool stuff with them. Yeah. I'm surprised, some of my hardware that I've got, for instance, and this is a good story of how old some of the stuff I've got. I've got a, multi-tool, that is probably about almost, I'm going to say 3 to 4 years old now. I'm not too sure how old, but, yeah. Oops. Yeah. And that thing's lasted since then, and it's kind of cool how I can able to get a decent pair of multi-tools. It's a Leatherman Wingman, and that's lasted me quite a while. It's pretty impressive. You get a decent quality, like, tool, they'll last you that long. Sandkipper. Yeet. More or less it's catfish, but, yeah. It's kind of cool, though, being able to do stuff like this in vrchat. Oh, you got one.
Fucking fish.
You got a fish! Whoa.
This is realistic.
Yeah, just spin the fish.
Oh, that would actually be so fucking cruel, actually.
Yeah. No, don't do that. There we go, got it. Yeah, that's a little sunny perch.
I don't remember which one
There's a whole chart here of fish you catch. Lake and cave, ocean and lake, and cave. I actually caught a couple of those in the, when I've gone to this world. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, definitely would be nice to see some, a few nice worlds on here from a few other games that I used to play as a kid. There are a few worlds people have made. One of them was like Jack and Dexter themed worlds. Would be nice to see a couple of, but I haven't seen a lot of them lately. Don't know why. Just, I guess it wasn't a common thing for people to port over to vrchat for whatever reasons. What game? This game here is vrchat, and we are currently playing a fishing game. You can actually just literally grab a fishing rod and then cast it out and catch fish.
The game.
Yeah.
Fishing simulator, except it's not a fishing simulator. It's more like a
got one
fishing like
And I got a fish.
Reel it in and swing like this.
And just try and grab the fishing pole. There we go. It's a steel trout. And I just toss them back.
That one before.
Yeah. I mean, say what horror games do I play? I don't play a lot of horror games. This is just more or less Halloween. I was in a couple of Halloween worlds just a bit ago. vrchat has a whole bunch of different things. If you ever go searching Halloween.
Are we talking horror games?
Nah. Just talking about Halloween.
I played.
In general.
I just heard horror games. Resident Evil, Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites. Eternal Darkness.
Yeah.
With the GameCube. That's a good one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I used to play a few different things, but most of it was just yeets. There's a big fish. Most of the stuff I play these days is things like either Borderlands, which there is actually a Halloween themed thing in Borderlands 2, but my copy of it bugged out recently, so I've got to try and reinstall it. I've got to find the install files for it and all that. It's weird. Especially when you're doing like VR stuff, it gets a little complicated with installing some games. Got another. I built the I might build a couple things at some point soon. Might make a couple lamps or something, who knows. Red-eye trout or red-line trout. Something like that. Just trout in general. Catfish. I got a catfish. It's an iron catfish. Catfish. Back you go to where you swim. I got something. What's this? What's this? What's this? Dun 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 dun. It's Tony the shrimp. And yeah, try not to spam in my comments, please. We don't appreciate spam. Blah.
Yeah, let's not spam in the comments thing.
Yeah. But yeah, there's another trout. Back you go. By the way, yeah, I've actually done a bit of fishing in my time so far. Both freshwater and saltwater fishing, and I found saltwater fishing is a lot more easier and a lot more cheaper. At least over here, because one, you don't need to get to go freshwater fishing. You need to get some kinds of ID and licenses and all that kind of nonsense, all that bureaucratic kind of stuff. But when you go fishing over here in New Zealand, in the sea, you don't need a license for the most part, unless you're doing commercial, which, I guess so. But, oh, there's a fun thing over here too. So there's these things called mussel farms, and what they do is they farm mussels. They're kind of a bit like any kind of other shellfish, and anyone can take a certain amount of them from the mussel farms, because in order for these commercial industries to exist, the mussel farms at least, they must allow people to publicly be able to take a certain limit from them of mussels. So the company who run the mussel farms legally can't tell you to go away unless you're taking a certain amount over the limit. So it's kind of like fair game kind of thing. It's weird, but they, at the end of the day, the commercial guys, they can always, haul in the lines when they need to grab their quota of mussels, and those massive things, they get like tons of them. Like they get more than enough to make profits. So someone taking a couple dozen of them from the line ends every so often. Yeah, I do too. I go fishing from time to time. Over here in New Zealand, we get quite a few interesting species. We get a fish called the blue cod, which each fisher can get, I believe it's 2 to 3 per person, under a certain size, if I remember right. And they're quite tasty. They're just like any other kind of cod. They're quite a decent eating fish.
Huh?
They're a white meat
I
fish.
caught one in the air.
There we go. And that's a fish. I'm just gonna yeet, back you go. There we go. It just sometimes gets a little stuck. There we go. Then we get species like kawai, which are they're more like a mullet or a mackerel. They are. They're real tasty. We get also fish like gurnard, which are they're a bottom feeder. They like to sit on the bottom. They're quite a good fish to eat. They got these beautiful big. They look like wings almost. Their front dorsal fin, their front fins look like wings, and they're very beautiful in colour. Yeah. They also.
So it's a top feeder or bottom feeder?
Gurnard, they're a bottom feeder. They sit along the bottom and yeah, I know, weird. They eat quite a bit of different types of fish, but they mainly are kind of like opportunistic. Like if they see a small lure running along the bottom, they'll try and grab it. But if they see a chunk of bait, they'll also have a go at gulping that too. So they're not too fussy. They are a really beautiful fish. They're like almost like orange, like carrot orange. They got a really hard head on them. And here's the fun thing about them. Once you bring one of them up, they start grunting like a pig. Not really loud, but if you listen, you can hear it. Yeah, it's like... It's weird. But yes, they make noise. Certain fish actually will make sound. And obviously sound travels really well underwater. So if a fish grunts, it can let other fish know that there's trouble or danger around. Yes, fish technically can talk. Although it's more barking or grunting kinds of sounds more than anything. Yeah. Yeah. There's also quite a few different species of kind of middle ground fish. There's lots of mackerel species over here too, which are really tasty when you fry them up with a bit of butter. I've tried all kinds of different fish and cooked them in all kinds of ways. The fish can sting. Some fish do have spines you gotta be a little careful of because they can give you a nasty poke. As of poisonous, not that I'm aware of. Not many fish over here actually have toxins.
He said the fish can sing, not the fish can sting. He was talking about the grunting fish.
Yes, technically that too. Yeah, but yeah, there are fish that do have spines on them, so you gotta be a little careful. Especially gurnard, they actually do have a set of nasty spines on them. But once you've got a good grip on them, or if they're hooked well on the line, you can just pull them on in. As a freshwater fish...
By the way, I have to... I have to go to bed. It's getting quite late.
Hugs. Wow.
1 a.m. for me now.
You get yourself some rest, bud, and I'll see you around. And also, thank you. It's always great to see you, bud.
Yeah, it was been quite a bit of time, so to see how you were doing.
Yeah. So, how long have we been streaming for? We have actually been streaming for over an hour and 6 minutes. That's good. I do want to say thank you to everyone who did show up to my stream today, especially on Halloween month or Spooky month. For everyone, thank you. And also a big thank you to Renard, who shows up on these streams whenever he's got the chance to. For him, it's like midnight for him. Right now, it's middle of the night. So big thank you to him.
Yeah, that's why I try to be here, but not always able to.
Yeah. But thank you.
We'll see you guys all.
And a big thank you to everyone. And I'm going to be hopping off soon myself. And I'm going to say a farewell to you all. You all have a fabulous day or night. And I'll see you all around. Have a brilliant spooky month this year. And stay safe. Trick-or-treating. Whatever you're doing. And I hope to see you again soon enough. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm tired.